and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Hi, folks. The weather is for sure heating up, and Coppell Chevrolet GMC is following suit. The discounts are really as good as they've ever been. $14,500 off list price, or 0% financing on select new models. Folks, you heard that right. Smoking hot deals at Coppell. $14,500 off list price, or 0% APR. So take that short drive down 144th Street or at CoppellCars.com. STK number G269520. All deals with trade-in and approved credit.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Noticing more dust at home? It may be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Breathe easy and healthy. Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio. From the heart of Lincoln, America. Expanding awareness about the TeamMates program and the ever-growing need for mentors. This is TeamMates Timeout with TeamMates CEO Des Moines Adams and Marketing and Communications Manager Ashton Honor.
Good afternoon. It's TeamMates Timeout with DeMo and Ash. DeMo and Ash are in the house tonight. It's July the 15th. It is hot out. We're at least here in Lincoln, and man, we have some exciting things just to share. A lot of things have happened, especially next week. Last week, we're going to talk about just our annual conference and having all of our people here. For those that can see, got my 6 states. So we're in 6 states. But of course, tonight is special because TeamMates started in Nebraska. Started here in Lincoln. And so tonight we finally have the Lincoln chapter program coordinator, Jim Bennett. And the Lincoln chapter is the biggest chapter. Started with just 22 matches. And then Jim is going to just share what he is doing to sustain the success of the Lincoln chapter. So Jim, welcome.
Hi, good evening. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Great. Thanks for having me on.
You know, given that this radio show is in Lincoln, and, you know, we have a lot of listeners out there that are probably either stuck in traffic, you're trying to maneuver the construction, which you can't, you know, whether you're going south or what is it?
This whole town is a hot mess.
Pine Lake Street.
I would like to talk to the Department of Roads.
You are stuck, and you are forced to have a timeout. Jim, tell us, you know, when you got into this role.
Yeah, I came to TeamMates as a coordinator in Lincoln 7 years ago, so almost to the date, just about. But before that, back from 2001 to 2013, I worked out at the Pathfinder program, which is it's a school we have in our juvenile detention center, and I was the TeamMates facilitator out there. So when young people would come in, if they had a teammate, I made sure that they got connected and stayed connected while they were there until they got back into their home school. So I've been affiliated with TeamMates quite a long time. I did take a 5-year gap in there, did some juvenile justice work in the state of Nebraska, but then I came back to TeamMates in 2018.
Okay, so 2001, man. So we're talking what, about 20 or so years?
Yeah, about 24 years ago.
So you were no stranger when you took this role.
No, I knew about Teammates quite a bit. That was back when Teammates Lincoln office was in a portable at Morley Elementary.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it was just in a little shack that was in the parking lot of Morley Elementary. So that was back. Sandy Fabry was one of the directors. She was the one I worked with back then.
Okay.
And Jim, where can people find the Lincoln chapter now?
Well, we're housed within the Lincoln Public Schools district office, so we have a nice little space there, some cubicle space. We're kind of considered a core program for Lincoln Public Schools, but we also serve Lincoln's parochial schools as well. So we serve any youth that's going to school in Lincoln. So
yeah,
third through 12th, though, of course.
Yeah.
Jim, what drew you to Teammates?
Well, I graduated here in Lincoln, 93, with a degree in psychology, and wasn't even really all that sure what I was going to do with that degree, to be real honest with you. And then I got a job in Topeka, Kansas at a psychiatric hospital for kids, and just loved it. Loved doing that work, working with kids. And then I came back to Lincoln and got a job at the Attention Center for Youth and did youth work. And then I became a kind of a facilitator of youth development here in town with a few other people. And so I just kind of fell in love with it. And then I got a degree in counseling from master's in counseling, and just have loved working with young people, and have since, I guess it's been over 30 years now. And so for me, one thing that's been clear is that in all those different areas of youth work that I've done, the thing that keeps coming up is mentoring, and how good that is for young people, and how well it works, and how great the outcomes are. And just kind of amazing. And just everywhere I'd go, mentoring would come up. And then when I got that job, I got a job with LPS out at the Youth Services Center is what it's called, the Juvenile Detention Center. I went to TeamMates to see what we could do to get more kids matched. And so I knew the value of it. I knew those young people could use a little bit of support from a caring adult. So I went, and that's where I started that relationship with TeamMates.
Awesome.
And it's been there ever since. And I actually, at one point, interviewed for the coordinator job at TeamMates that I have now, 10 years before I got it. So I interviewed for it. I was a little younger, didn't have my master's back then. So I thought I had a shot at it, but Walter Powell got it, and deservedly so. He was a really great coordinator. But then I saw Walter was moving up in the LPS system a little bit, and I knew it was going to come open. And so I jumped on it.
So I didn't realize counseling was your background.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't do a lot of it because I used it more as I used the master's more to find a good place to find a home for youth work. But in my retirement, I might be what I end up doing more.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of Lincoln mentors that are listening right now, and just other mentors that are tuning in. When it comes to the leadership that you're providing the Lincoln chapter and just this Lincoln community, how are you using your counseling background to complement your leadership?
Well, we have a staff in Lincoln. We have a staff of nine people, including myself. And so we have to do several different things. And one of those is work really well together, because we've got a big system here in Lincoln. We've got just over 70 schools that we serve. Every school's got at least one facilitator. And then there's obviously leadership in schools and other people in those schools that help make this thing go, including the media center staff, the front office staff, the security entrance monitors. It's a big system. So we have to really work well together. And so we do a lot of work within our team to build that team unity, to kind of stay really functional and really high level. And in order we do that, and then it kind of trickles down into our system. So I'd say that's one way. It's a people business we're in right now, right?
Yeah.
We're matching. And there's the other thing. We have in Lincoln this last school year, we served 1,322 matches. So that's 1,322 youth and 1,322 adult mentors. So it's a large system of mentorship, and there's a lot of things that come up in those matches and with those mentors. So I spend a lot of time working things out with mentors, making sure we're we're supporting them in the best way we can and making sure they're happy in their mentoring relationship. So I'd say that's another way I use it.
Yeah. And Ashton, as a mentor here in the Lincoln chapter, like everything that you're hearing behind the scenes, like, were you aware of that? Just in terms of like when you show up, who your person is, and just how everything is laid out, all comes from the work of Jim and his team.
The Lincoln chapter does a really great job of their training their mentors. So, going through that training process, like your administrator in charge of that, like lays out literally everything. Like, okay, when you go to the school, here's where you need to go. Here's where you need to check in. And then just everybody in the school is always so great to work with.
Right.
My mentee is moving on to middle school in our next year, which I'm a little nervous about because we're at a different school. And so it's going to be a whole new different system that we've got to figure out. But I'm confident in having worked with Jim and his staff, and I think it's going to be great. But to the point, the training is great. Like the way you guys educate those mentors and the do's and the don'ts of like DeMo, what we talked about through Angie and the outreach specialist, like training process, which the Lincoln chapter has to implement as a chapter under the national umbrella. So it's been a great process with me and my mentee thus far.
That's really, really good to hear. The schools love their mentors. They just really do. They get excited to see them. People are always greet them really nicely and make them feel at home. And I really feel strongly about that we want to train really, really well and make sure every mentor feels really prepared to show up day one. And not have there be a lot of question marks and things that they don't know. So yeah, but the schools, they love it when the mentors come.
And as a Lincoln chapter mentor, we get badges to get into the school, and we have to wear that throughout our meeting with our mentees, so we can be identified in the school. So the school's aware, like even other teachers and students, like they see the badge on, they're like, okay, that's a legit person. It's not, again, with safety being one of our top core values, the Lincoln chapter did a great job of like recognizing that and implementing that in the school system.
Yeah. Mentoring in teammates happens out in the open. It doesn't happen behind closed doors.
Right.
It happens in cafeterias, in front hallways, in gymnasiums, in libraries. It happens out in public in front of others. It's an extremely, we're very proud of that pillar of safety. It's really important to us. And I think it's important not just to keep you safe, but to help the mentors feel safe in their mentoring experience. So it's, very, very, very proud of that. We really hang our hat on that.
And it's great because the LPS buildings, like you can't just get into the school. Like you have to be like buzzed into the school. So the whole safety piece and the way LPS values that and all the processes and systems in place, as a mentor, I feel extremely safe going into that mentorship experience in the building.
Yeah. Good to hear.
Jim, we have shared with everyone that's watching and listening, like our core values, a number of times. And, the two of you just talked about the safety of our organization. When it comes to the integrity and trust, you talked about how hard you work on building those relationships with the school buildings and stuff. When you think of the core value of integrity and trust, what do listeners need to know about TeamMates Mentor, particularly right here in Lincoln, especially those that have not become a mentor yet?
With regards to that pillar?
Yep.
Yeah. For me, what that speaks to a lot of it is that we're going to talk about hard stuff in training. We're going to talk about the stuff that they're going to experience. When things come up, we're going to show integrity and trust. We're going to trust them, but we're also going to show integrity, and we're going to say what needs to be said. And we're going to have a conversation about things. If something were to go wrong, if a mentor were to, maybe accidentally violate a policy, we're going to talk about it. We're going to show that integrity. And we're going to do it the right way. And we expect that from our mentors as well. So we talk about that. We want to trust our mentors, but we also want our mentors to trust that we're doing right by them as well. So that integrity and trust is really important to us. It's, if there was one time when it was a mentor had went out to a curb to go, their student was out on the curb. And so they went out there, but they were off property. And so, but we just had a real conversation about it. It was just it was a lapse in judgment. And we worked through it, and the mentor was apologetic and said, yeah, I get it, and let's move forward. But we talked about it. We didn't just sweep it under the rug, if you know what I mean. So, because it's important that have a real open dialogue with mentors, and that they're open with us. And if they hear or see something that makes them have pause, or just maybe makes them be a little cautious, that they let us know, and they let the school know, so that we can kind of work through it and make sure it's taken care of.
One of the questions that I have, given that the Lincoln chapter is our largest chapter, and you have so many school buildings in the city, and we have different program coordinators and building coordinators, how does that process work with like communicating with them, training them?
Yeah,
do you guys have a beginning of the year like meeting? Tell the listeners how that works.
Yeah, so we're actually going to be doing this next week, is starting next week. We have every year we have annual facilitator training. I think there's going to be about 11 new facilitators.
Oh, wow.
So we have a new facilitator training, which is a little longer. They need to go through, they need to see the training session that we do for mentors. They need to know what we're training mentors on, so that they're aware of those things. But then we have a lot of real experienced facilitators some of them been doing it for 15 years,
Yeah.
So we have a refresher every year for them, because things change little things change every year. But we just give them a quick refresher. Usually that training is about an hour. But then we meet with them every quarter. We're meeting with those facilitators,
nice.
just to make sure that that they're feeling supported, for one thing, because they're doing this as part of their job at LPS. They're doing this because they care about kids. They care about teammates. They're not getting any extra money for it. It's just part of their job within the school. A lot of our facilitators are coordinators or counselors. There's a few that are teachers. There's a few that are administrators. We have kind of a pair at Lincoln High. One of those being Mark Larson, the principal, is our facilitator, because he likes to be part of the matchmaking process. Because he knows the students really well. If you go to Lincoln High, you're going to see Mark Larson walking the halls. In his Jordans. He's walking halls.
Mark's pretty great.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. And so, but because he likes to be out with the kids and does that. So him and then Lisa Kiley does an amazing job at Lincoln High. We have close to 100 matches at Lincoln High alone.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a big job. And so Lisa keeps it all really together, and she's pretty fantastic.
So Teammates mentoring is about getting community members to volunteer their time. And what we're hearing is you are getting other school people to volunteer their time to make sure that the experience that mentors have when they go to the school is a great experience.
Right.
What are you putting in the water? I mean, what are you doing to get this teamwork to make the dream work right here in Lincoln?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we can't overlook the relationship that Teammates has with the Lincoln Public Schools. Just incredible. The leadership. Interim Superintendent John Scretta is a mentor himself right now. Brad Jacobson, who just came on, is going to oversee Teammates as the Associate Superintendent for Civic Engagement. He's going to become a mentor. And that leadership up there at Lincoln Public Schools District Office, they all buy in, right? And this goes back to when I first came, Dr. Joel was there. And he talked about the effect of Teammates on the graduation rates and how important that is, that because we see, I believe our state are across all chapters, 95% graduation rate. Was that what we have, right? And that's just incredible. I mean, 70% of the kids in Teammates in Lincoln qualify for free and reduced lunch, which means they're living at or near that poverty.
Right.
And that's not what we're targeting with Teammates, but that's just the reality of the youth that we serve. But that's a food insecurity is a real thing that makes it harder to be successful in school when you have those kinds of things. So I think the fact that our graduation rates are so high is a real testament to the model that was set up back in that started in Lincoln in 1991. Obviously and then it developed over those years afterwards. It is huge. That's a huge testament to that, but it's also a huge testament to the mentoring that, like I said, it just works so well. And it's such a simple concept that works so incredibly well. Just spending 30 to 45 minutes with a young person one time a week during school and staying consistent with it,
Mhm.
it just has an amazing effect on young people's success.
I love that you brought up that you have administration buy-in because we see that across some of our other chapters. First thing that comes to mind in other chapters, Sandy Creek, they're almost their entire administration is mentors. And we had Dr. Scretta on the show, gosh, a couple months ago,
Yeah,
maybe
that's
back
right.
in the wintertime. And so it was cool to hear his perspective and how he was also a coordinator when he was at Lincoln Northeast. Am I right with that? No.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
Yeah, he ran
Okay.
the
So
program
I'm
at Northeast.
correct with that.
Yeah.
So it was cool to hear, when he was that program coordinator. So and a mentor. So he's got to see all sides of it. And then now as administrator, just how passionate he is about the program. Like at conference last week, I saw Brad Jacobson there. I saw Dr. Scretta there. So it's cool to see like how passionate those administrators are because not only are they talking the talk, but they're also walking it as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Those two guys are great to work with for sure. Yeah, no, I didn't have to sell it to Dr. Scretta when he came in. He knew all about it, and he was also the superintendent of Norris. And they
Okay.
had a strong program out there
Yes.
as well. So everywhere he's gone, he's seen it
Yeah.
work, and he knows it works consistently.
Mhm.
And so it's really, I feel real fortunate to have him as leading our district right now.
And, for you to just talk about the buy-in, but also how teammates mentoring is really a part of the school district's fabric when it comes to high school graduation, but also the other data that we collect around attendance, grades, and behavior. Why are people having a hard time just going to teammates.org, clicking to become a mentor, and volunteering their time to be a part of something special right here for their community?
I think people will say things like, when I'm just so busy right now, I got a lot going on. My kids are in high school or those kinds of things. We have mentors that mentor and have the same things. I think also, I don't think people realize how much that mentors get out of this process. Mentors say the same things to us all of the time, and it's best hour of my week, and I'm getting more out of this than they are. And we hear it across the board. I bet you I hear that a couple hundred times a year from mentors. And I think that I don't think people realize just how valuable it is to the adults who do this work. I leave, and I've heard you say this too, Des Moines. I leave, first of all, energized, motivated to be productive at work. The research follows that lead, but also I'm a better parent. I'm a better parent to my daughter and my son. I've learned a lot about myself as a parent. And here's the other cool thing is I know that my daughter and son are going to be better parents because of it.
Yeah.
And so that's that ripple effect and how cool that is. And so I think, times what people say a lot. So, it is during the day. So their schedule, their work schedule and things like that. There's some real stuff there that people have to deal with to make this happen. But boy, if you can get through the mind hurdles of I don't have enough time, or I don't have what it takes to be a mentor, which is absolutely not true. If someone's out there thinking that right now, you can dispel that, because if you can play Uno or Connect Four, you've got exactly what it takes to be a mentor. Because really, a lot of our mentors play board games and cards and shoot hoops and go for walks around in the halls, and it's really it's a simple thing that is so big. It's something real. It's a little small thing you can do that is part of something really big, which is a young person reaching their full potential.
I love it. And just knowing our mission is to positively impact the world by inspiring students to reach their full potential through mentoring. When we get back the second segment, we try to create this awareness that there are at least 500 students on the waiting list. I want you to talk about that waiting list because, we try to speak on behalf of the Lincoln chapter, but now that we have the Lincoln chapter here, I think listeners need to know more about what it means for a student to wait and what it means for them to volunteer their time so we can close that gap.
Great.
You're tuned in, Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 5.
Empower a child today with the TeamMates mentoring program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the TeamMates mentoring program today.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Noticing more dust at home? It may be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Breathe easy and healthy. Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Hi, folks. The weather is for sure heating up, and Coppel Chevrolet GMC is following suit. The discounts are really as good as they've ever been. $14,500 off list price, or 0% financing on select new models. Folks, you heard that right. Smoking hot deals at Coppel. $14,500 off list price, or 0% APR. So take that short drive down 144th Street or at koppelcars.com. STK number G269520. All deals with trade-in and approved credit.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
While folks love all of Hog Wild's award-winning barbecue options, many have a real soft spot for the Carolina pulled pork sandwich. Hog Wild serves their tender, slow-smoked pulled pork on a soft bun and piles it high with tangy coleslaw. There's nothing else on the menu like it. The added bonus? You get to have a side dish like curly fries or baked beans. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Back to Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, you're back. Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash. We got special guest, program coordinator for the Lincoln chapter, Jim Bennett. First segment, we talked about just this incredible relationship that Teammates Mentoring has with the school district. And right here, that relationship is doing a lot of magic right here in Lincoln. Lincoln this past year served over 1,300. Jim, knowing that you two are a strengths-based man, what are your top 5 strengths?
Positivity, relator, harmony, developer, analytical.
Okay, so positivity.
It's actually positivity, analytical, relator are my top 3.
Okay. Let's see. I don't think we share any. I used to have analytical.
Yeah.
And then it dropped out of my top 10. as soon as I took this role. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We added strengths-based as a core value about 2 years ago.
Right.
And given that, psychology is kind of your background,
Right.
You have invested in strengths as well. What did that mean for you when we put a strong emphasis on being an organization that says we are strengths-based?
Oh man, it's right up my wheelhouse. We did a lot of work when I was with the school, with the search institutes for developmental assets. When I was with probation administration, juvenile probation administration, we did real colors as our strengths and utilize that across the system, across the state. And so, being an administrator, I was responsible to make sure that we kept that forward facing as well. That idea of strengths. So it's been a part of my whole career, frankly, keeping it strengths based. And it's really important. Like I said, I did some youth development work in our city here in Lincoln, training youth workers at different nonprofits and some governmental agencies and some things like that. But just really helping people understand that positive youth development is so critical in the work we do. So it's so, and I'll be honest with you, TeamMates has hit all the marks for me as far as the quality of the program, the leadership from the national office, the buy-in of school districts, the fact that it happens in schools, the model. I talked about that model. This model allows us to serve 1,322 young people.
Yeah.
That didn't happen overnight, right? That got built over time. But whoever kind of worked on that structure way back in the early 90s, I don't know if that was Coach, if that was that team of people who put it together. Some of that history has gotten lost. If you remember the fire at the LPS district office. Yeah. So we lost a lot of our paper files and things like that we had. But so some of that is lost, but I know Tom knows where it came from. But the model is frankly really, really clever.
And I do know Barbara, and I don't know if she's watching or listening. She was responsible for helping TeamMates start in Lincoln Public Schools. We're talking 34 years ago. But also TeamMates, and given that Coach received his PhD at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, is very research-based.
Yeah.
And so there was this partnership with the National Mentor Elements of Effective Practice, which is housed out in Washington, D.C., and they've been around for 35 years. We've been around for 34 years. So everything that we do is research-driven, best practices. There is a science behind it. You got a chance to experience that in January, along with Ashton, some of your staff. What did that do to you in terms of seeing the bigger, broader picture that TeamMates Mentoring is the largest school-based mentoring program in the nation? And here you are, coming from Lincoln, Nebraska, being around all these other mentoring organizations.
Right. Yeah, that national conference is really, really an amazing event every year. You realize how many like-minded people there are across the country and even in other countries. And to what you spoke about, when you speak about evidence-based, that's really important for people, I think, to know, is that these things, we're not just doing these things because we're guessing. Right. These are things we're doing because we know what the research says. We know what the best practices are, and to go to be able to go to DC and take my staff with me this year and really learn. And I think it was reinforcing for my staff, for the team, which, by the way, I'll give a shout out to my team. Some of the greatest professionals that I've worked with in my career work at TeamMates. So that team is fantastic. So shout out to the team. But they got to really be validated in the work that we do and realize that we're doing some really creative things in Lincoln, doing some things that they may not know where the origins of those things that we're doing. A good example is we do community service projects.
Oh.
And so we partner with 8 nonprofits throughout the year. And we usually it's more of a craft kind of thing, but we put together these project kits, and they build something or they create something. and then we donated it to the nonprofit. We've done dog toys for the Humane Society. We did locker inspirational magnets for the first responders.
Cool.
And we just do lots of different things. We have a Fleece Heart program that we do every year. We partner with a local business or local group that works with cancer patients and people going through chemotherapy and radiation. And then when they do that, they are given a heart in the very beginning, because they can take that into the room with them when they go in for this. And then when they get done with their treatment, they pass the heart on to somebody else. So it's really a cool program. But we do those kinds of things because helping young people learn about civic involvement and civic engagement is critical in their lifelong success. And the research is real clear about that. So that's how we engage the community. That's how we engage kids, and to think about something a little bit bigger than just themselves, or how mentoring is affecting just them. Now they can think about others and giving back to the community. And so that's just an example. So I think my staff got to see the why. Why are we doing this? What's the, are we spitballing here? Or is this a real thing? And they were validated that, it's very real what we do. And we do things very intentionally in Lincoln. So
Ashton, given that it'll be a year for you here next month, hearing Jim talk about his love for the organization, how everything seems to be aligned with everything that we say we're going to do, the integrity and trust, but then also the fact that the evidence, does that validate, the fact that you're in the right?
100%. I always say this was one of the best decisions that I've ever made. And in leaving my previous position to pursue this opportunity with TeamMates, because at the end of the day, what are we trying to do? We're trying to help better kids and help them be winners in the game of life. And so without a doubt, I can't echo enough what Jim has said, but it's been a great year and I'm excited for the year mark to get here so I can check it off and then really start. The first year's been great, a whirlwind. Yeah. Like we've talked about, there's a lot of different things, still trying to learn a lot of different things as well, but very excited for year 2 and just to further dive into this organization.
And, for giving us a new motto, join the team, be a mentor, head over to teammates.org today. Jim, we've been pushing this ever since Ashton has started. And, we've also been pushing the awareness that right here in Lincoln, got at least 500 students on the waiting list. Jim, I would love for you to be the source, the head, the voice, the mouth of, what this waiting list means and what it means to the listeners and watchers when it comes to them helping more students to be paired up with a teammate.
Right. Yeah, we have a wait list of 500. So we're going to start the year trying to match as many of those young people as possible. The last 2 years, we've trained about 300 people to become mentors. But because of attrition or retention numbers, we lose people every year. We lose, we're going to have 100 seniors this year. So some of these mentoring relationships have been going on for 7-8 years. And sometimes sometimes maybe that person wants to take a break, or so a lot of times they just turn around and take another mentee and because they enjoy the process so much. Actually, most do take another mentee. But we trained about 300, but we really only served 85 more kids last year than we did the year before. Because of that, we lose a lot. People change jobs. People move out of town. Those kinds of things happen. Mentees move out of town. There's lots of real life things that happen in relationships that make it so that sometimes we have to close matches. But it's important to also know this too, that young people wait, and some of those young people have been on that wait list for a couple of years because we need more mentors to match with those young people. Young men wait longer than young women do, unfortunately, because we have a shortage of male mentors. So if any of the guys out there listening, we really need your help with this. Our mentor pool is about 40% male and about 60% female. And so we really need more male mentors to help support those young kids, because those poor young guys wait on a wait list a lot longer than a young woman does because of that. Just because we just don't have as many men signing up. Although we're making some headway. We're doing a little bit better. We're improving by a percent or two every year, last couple of years, but we're still not where I think, I can't imagine why it wouldn't be 50-50,
Jim, is there a particular grade level, elementary, middle, or high school, that you have more mentee pool than? Is there a greater need for any one of those three?
Well, no, it's pretty across the board, to be real honest with you. So how this works is we have over 30 grade schools or elementary schools. Dating myself there a little bit, calling it grade school. Elementary schools. And so each elementary might have 5 to 10 matches in it, right? And then we have a much smaller number of middle schools, and so they might have 30 to 45 matches at their schools. But then at high schools, since there's only 7 or 8 of them, they kind of funnel in. Yeah. So half of our matches are in high schools.
Okay.
We do have So this is something important. We want you to be fulfilled in your mentoring relationships. So we let you kind of pick an age that you feel comfortable with. And sometimes people will come in and take a junior in high school. Say, hey, I want to help this young person get to the finish line, right? It's a 2-year commitment, and they can work with a young person who's 16 years old and kind of get them to the finish line. But we also have some people who come in and take a 3rd grader, and like that. So this last year I've worked my whole career, the 30 some years of my youth work career, with middle school, high schoolers all the time. And I challenged myself. Both of my mentees graduated. They were both seniors 2 years ago, and so they graduated. And so I'm like, all right. And of course, they matched me with a young man in high school at Southeast, which is right in my wheelhouse. And then I said, all right, give me an elementary. Try this. And it's been fantastic. It's been really a lot of fun. It is challenging me because it's not my comfort zone, but I think that's part of why it's so much fun. It's because of trying some new stuff.
So I like that you brought that up, because when I applied to be a mentor, I'm like, I want to start with an elementary kid, and I want to be able to be there with them and grow with them and watch them through those 3 different school.
Yeah.
So we started, my mentee, she was on the list as a 3rd grader, but didn't get matched. And then she and I matched in 4th grade. So we were together 4th grade, 5th grade. So I'm super excited. That's one of the most things that I'm most excited about, is being with her throughout that entire process. And just when we first started meeting, from where we started, from where she is now, it's like night and day different. So when we get back in the fall, I'm so excited to see, like, oh my gosh, you've probably grown a lot more. You've probably changed a little bit. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, those transitions are really critical, and we work hard on those. So young people going into 9th grade or going into 6th grade, those are those transitions that we really want our mentors to be aware of, be trained on, understand how significant those are for young people. So we just sent out an email to all those mentors of transition age young people. So to help prep them. It's just one of those, once again, best practice is preparing for those. We heard about that at the national conference, actually, again. So it just reinforced that we need to focus some energy on it. It's part of the elements of effective practice.
And then Jim, what happens to students on this waiting list? Like, at what year do they say, I don't want to mentor?
We check every year. We get parent permission forms every year. We make everybody on that wait list, every young person, we call it the ABCs of matching, right? Their attendance, young people's attendance has to be at a place where they're showing up for school enough that they can be mentored. Their behaviors have to be in line and enough that because our volunteers aren't therapists. They're not, they're not school personnel.
Right.
They need to have someone whose behaviors are in good enough order that they can be a mentor for that young person. And then the last one is commitment. And commitment for us is everybody on that wait list says they want to be mentored. Many of them nominated themselves to have a mentor. So, and we check every year. And if they say, no, you know what, I don't think it's for me anymore. We'll just take them off the list and we'll say, all right, come back to us if you change your mind. Right. But we want to make sure everyone on that wait list is committed to having a mentor. And sure. And this kind of breaks my heart. We hear about this from our facilitators, but there's some young people who come up to them literally every week and say,
Aw.
have you found me a mentor yet? And so there's young people out there who are really excited about the idea. They see their friends have mentors. And I do want to just make sure I say this too, because I did talk about my juvenile justice background and, just a few things that maybe our young people are not, this is not a program for at-risk youth. These are young people who are nominated for lots of different reasons. They come from all different socioeconomic backgrounds, different academic levels, different familial structures and things like that. Some kids come because one of the most things we see on our nomination form is unmet leadership potential. So they think, this young person could be such a good leader if we could just get them another caring adult who can help that blossom in that young person. So I want to make sure that we're not misleading folks. These are just normal young folks that you see walking the streets or in the mall or, out in restaurants who could really benefit from a caring adult.
And then you have an amazing data point, which is a lot higher than our program wide. 98% of your mentees, did they report that they trust their mentor?
Yep.
98%.
That's huge.
Wow.
Yeah. Trust and hope. Those are the two things we're measuring, and we see some real high levels of both.
So for those that are watching and listening, there is a kid out there, all they're wanting is for someone else to care for them. Teammates.org. Also, Jim, will you direct them to your website?
Yeah, if you want to see the local Lincoln chapters, it's lincolnteammates.org.
You're live with DeMo and Ash on Teammates Timeout. We got one more segment, Jim, and we only got 2 questions for you because it's going to go back quick. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 5.
Empower a child today with the TeamMates mentoring program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting lincolnteammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the TeamMates mentoring program today.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloff.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Schwizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schwizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schwizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
MHC isn't new, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartments, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can also handle your commercial moves as well. There's never fees on trucks, stairs, elevators, long carry, and last-minute booking, and no trip or fuel charges. Also, no upcharge on weekends, and they do offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and hot with an afternoon high near 94. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely, low around 68. And tomorrow, we'll chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, probably sunny skies with a high around 85. My meteorologist Kyle Beck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. You're back. DeMo and Ash, Jim Bennett, program coordinator to the largest chapter out of 190 or so chapters that we have across all 6 states. So far, he has talked about the success of the Lincoln chapter. He has talked about how important the relationship between the school district is and the experience that we give mentors. Now, Jim, I know the mentors are very grateful of just that 5-star customer service when they walk into the school building. Ashton, she's a mentor right here in Lincoln Public Schools. For those that are still not a mentor, they've been watching, they've been listening, and they continue to say they don't have the time. What can you tell them in addition to the fact that we have 500 students that are waiting for a mentor? They want a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell those people who are on the fence?
Well, it's not a tough lift. First of all, it just isn't. If once you start going and you start really realizing the value of that it places on your life and your time, I think you'll realize real quick that you do have the time. I always think about a story that Dr. Joel would tell, as told on multiple occasions, and it's his story. But I think he'd be okay with me telling it. So he came to Lincoln Public Schools from Grand Island Public Schools and was superintendent. And he knew he was going to mentor at some point. But he wanted to, stop drinking from the fire hose first. Right. And so he's like, as soon as things calm down, I start getting my feet underneath me. I'm going to mentor. And then it was just a week or so later, because I think teammates went to him and said, "Hey, are you going to mentor?" And so it was about a week or so later, he was out in one of the schools, which is what you would think a new superintendent would be doing. And he ran into Tom Osborne, and he talked to Tom, and Tom was out there mentoring and mentoring. I think at the time he might have even had 3 different young people that he was mentoring. And in talking to Dr. Joel, Dr. Joel realized that Tom was the athletic director, and going through that move to the Big Ten and all the work that it must be going on to make that happen at the university level must have been intensive. And still he was finding time to get out and mentor. So Dr. Joel's like, well, I guess I don't have an excuse. And so he just went and signed up. And and I'll even say this about Tom, and I just heard him talk about this, that when he was a congressman, he would fly out and spend the week out in DC, and he would, based on his schedule, he'd still find time to mentor two young people, either Monday before he left or Friday when he would get back. And so, Tom's had a pretty busy schedule in his career. So I think if he can find time, I think we all can as well to get out and really do this great work and get the value of it. It's valuable for the young person, valuable for the adult, and really great for our community.
Jim, I know we're running close on time, but I want to ask one of my favorite questions that I like to ask all of our guests. Tell us about a particular mentor or mentors in your life who made a profound impact on you and how you plan to carry on that legacy.
Yeah, I've actually thought about this quite a little bit.
Good.
I would say that there's been a lot of really great teachers and coaches, all different kinds of mentors, different. I was at a recruiting event and somebody, I don't know how it came up where they were from, and they were from and I said, I grew up, I went to North Platte St. Pat's, and they go, do you know Mrs. Ostermeyer? And I was like, oh my gosh, do I know Mrs. Ostermeyer? She was a pretty epic teacher, government and social studies teacher, just really amazing. And that's just one example. But I'm going to say that it was my dad. We lost my dad about 5 years ago now. I'm sorry, just a little over 4 years ago. And, he's a very humble man, very quiet, very, very, never talked about himself. And I know he was proud when I took the job at TeamMates, and I know he really appreciates what I do for a living. And that's somebody who I think about as really needing to live up to those standards that I think he lived up to in his life. So I'd say my dad. I know he signed on, and he had to be a mentor to his son, but he really. I look back on some of the stuff that, but unfortunately, I took on some of the stuff that he did. When he bumped his head, he'd get really, really mad, and he'd always say, "Better to have and need not than to need and have not." And sure enough, I'm a little bit of a hoarder, a collector. I have things. I'd rather have more tools, or so those things. But he also said, if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. If you're going to do it all and do it right. And just some things like that I've taken with me and done a lot of thinking about since we lost him a few years ago.
Yeah, and it sounds like great advice. And it makes me think of what I always like to say: what you see is who you will be.
Yep.
And so for you to have that role model in your life, even though that's your dad, but not a lot of people say their parent was like a role model and a mentor, and that's what we're trying to provide young people. We're trying to provide them with positive role models so that they can receive advice, so that they can have a model to follow, so we can have more leaders. My last question, Jim, and given that we live in Lincoln, given that I played for the Huskers, if you were on the football team, what position would you play?
Well, I used to think I was fast, but I at some point I realized I'm not that fast. So I played receiver in high school.
Okay.
A little tight end in high school, but yeah, so probably that. Although I need more speed.
Okay. So wide receiver. So is it because you want to score the touchdowns, or you feel like you're good at catching the ball, or speed, or all of the above?
I got hands. I got good hands.
Oh man. Well, you're lucky, Jim, because I'm on the line, so we wouldn't be able to interact. Okay. But the nice thing is, because we're on the same team today, teammates, we get to interact all the time.
That's right.
Jim, I've always appreciated your leadership.
Yes.
Thank you so much for what you're doing by leading the largest chapter, across the organization. So, Ashton,
Wrap it up. You guys know where to go. Teammates.org to learn more information about how you can get involved. Click that button that says become a mentor, or if now's not the time, click that button that says donate. You're listening to Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket.
Empower a child today with the TeamMates mentoring program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the TeamMates mentoring program today.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Schwizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schwizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity